Good morning and afternoon and evening and all times of day. Again, in the morning, our podcast, which happens in the morning. How about that?
It does happen in the morning. We record early in the mornings for your listening enjoyment, hopefully anytime after 8 p.m. or 8 a.m.
Whenever you want to listen,
Pacific
feel free.
time.
So this is apparently a big day.
Kind of a big day for America.
I'm going to go with Election Day is indeed a big day, and this is Election Day, November 5th. So if you haven't already, what do people need to do, Jen?
Vote. They need to
vote.
That's the bottom line. Your voice matters. It counts. You need to get out there. You need to vote, please.
You have until 8 o'clock tonight here in the PN Dub to get your voting done. So yes, just make sure you get out and whoever you vote for. We don't care, but just vote, right?
Just vote. Yeah, we don't. Yeah, for sure. We don't care who you vote for.
Oh, let's go back to yesterday's show for a second because we want to thank Stephanie, Carrie, and Sonia, among others, who said that they do indeed clap along with our little opening music here. There's a big opportunity to clap right about here. So thank you for clapping.
I love our opening, Curt. Thanks for finding that.
That's it. Well, I think we owe it to that Ben sound who did a really nice job on that. So yes, and we appreciate you clapping along. It's hard not to. Once you get the song down, it's like, clap, clap.
All right.
How about for today's big program? Of course, we've got a lot of election stuff to cover.
Yes.
We'll do that.
But we also have how to get free donuts and half off Uber rides.
Which is cool. We've got your dating red flags from yesterday. We said, give us your dating red flags. And you guys came through a big time on that.
And then I put in there, Curt, signs that you found your soulmate to kind of balance the red flags out.
Right. Good one. I like it. And what's this? I'll let you tell me about this. The hot new baby trend for girls that you think is awesome.
No, although in my case, it could work, but I don't know. We'll explain. It's a little crazy.
A little crazy, a little cray-cray. How about this for some transition music for today? How's that sound?
Wow.
That was kind of lame.
We're going to take that and go right into how to get free donuts because it's not only election day, but it's also National Donut Day. And I was saying to myself, I think we celebrated National Donut Day. We did. It happens twice a year in June and in November. So we're celebrating the second National Donut Day of the year, and Krispy Kreme is giving out free donuts.
Yeah, it's also tying in, obviously, with Election Day. So get into Krispy Kreme. All guests get a free original glazed donut at participating stores in the United States. That's one free original glazed donut. How patriotic is that? Additionally, you also will give, while they last, Krispy Kreme is handing out the very popular and hard to come by I voted stickers at select stores. We don't get that because we did the mail-in, right?
Well, Washington State is all mail-in ballot.
Right. So anyway, but people love those I voted stickers, and you can get one of those while they last at Krispy Kreme. And Krispy Kreme is not the only company that's doing some cool stuff for Election Day.
Well, I mean, Krispy Kreme is also for National Donut Day as well. It's both.
Okay. Well, this next thing is just for Election Day, right?
That's true. Yes.
But you could have donuts on your Uber ride if you want. So deal with Uber. You click on the Go Vote tile in the Uber app. The company is offering riders 50% off trips to their polling place.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
Up to $10. Lyft is offering the same type of thing as well. So if you're not in a state where, you mail in your vote, your ballot, you can get half off your rides to your polling place with Uber and or Lyft today. Lyft has said that it helped 3 million people get to the polls over the years since launching the program.
I love that so much.
Go Uber and Lyft. Okay, let's see if we like this one here a little bit better.
Whoa. Election Day 24.
Were you trying to be like a hard sell news company or
trucks and more trucks? Election
24. That type of thing. All right, Jen, you found this. This is a little bit, this is just some data on voting and what people would do. But this headline here sort of caught me.
Right. It's the headlines. Election Day, 34% of people would sell their vote for $5,000. And I'm thinking to myself, I could use $5,000.
You can't sell your vote.
Maybe I would sell my vote as long as I knew that they would vote the same way I would.
Well, I think that's hardly, yeah, that's a nice caveat to have, but I think that's the thing. They're not going to tell you who they're going to vote for. But here's
Oh,
your $5,000. That'd be pretty tempting, although
yeah.
illegal.
Yeah.
So,
And
so
27% want a pet owning president.
interesting that they asked all these questions, and one of them was, "Hey, would you rather have a president that owns a pet or doesn't own a pet?" And I would agree, a pet owning president that
I think that
that
says something
jives.
about your character and your compassion, as long as
Let's
you
get
take
in.
good care of your pet.
Yeah, you'll take good care of the country, right?
Mhm.
More stuff. 2 in 5 Americans say that they've gotten into an argument over politics with a friend or family member. I think that's pretty common.
Yeah.
Not, I mean, I don't get into arguments, but there's certainly, well, that's splitting hairs, a disagreement or an
Well,
argument.
I would be interested. I don't think this covered it, but I know that there's friendships that have been ended over
Hmm.
politics, and that makes me so sad because as humans, we should be able to exist having differing opinions and still be able to get along.
Yeah, I mean, that's a relatively new, I mean, I don't have any issue with my friends that have different political views, but things have become so divisive and angry with these last elections, presidential elections. It's just very difficult. Everybody used to be able to coexist pretty well, I think. It's like, yeah, you're a Republican, you're a Democrat. Let's go have a beer,
Yeah.
agree to disagree type of thing. But that certainly has changed.
Give us some other stats, Curt.
15% of people said they regret how they voted in a previous election.
Oh,
I guess if you vote for your person and then they don't do what they follow up on, or they don't follow up on what they said. Another poll said, getting back to the selling your vote. Yeah, like you said, a third of people said no, they want their vote to themselves, but the other third said that they would sell their vote, and it said they'd have to get at least $5,000.
I like
But
I like this one about what was your butt? I'm sorry. What was your
I was
butt?
just going to say, there's a 1 in 10 people said that they would do it for about $1,000, and 20% said they'd sell their vote for any amount. So here's $5. Will you sell
No
your vote?
way. Come
No
on.
way.
All right. I like that some of these things when people were asked what they thought the most important traits in a president
Hmm.
or are, and they said their decision-making abilities. That should be a pretty obvious. Leadership skills. Honesty makes me laugh because I don't know any politician that's kept all their promises.
Yeah, that's true.
Mental health is a strong trait to have.
Yeah,
Uh,
vision for America's future was one of them. Intelligence, there's one.
integrity,
Uh-huh.
yes, please, and their ability to stay calm under pressure.
Those were the most important traits. The least important traits from this poll were personal wealth and physical attractiveness.
Hmm.
We want to have a hot president, don't you?
Well, I
And
mean,
finally, about half of people said that they wish that they could change to a straight popular vote so that everybody's vote counted exactly the same. Third said the current system is fine with electoral votes, although I think I've seen a lot of information saying the Electoral College is kind of a dated. I mean, back in the 1700s, late 1700s or 1800s, it was a good idea, but now, not so much.
I was talking to hot firefighter boyfriend Pat about that actually, and he said,
Mhm.
it's pretty good only because um what was he saying? The population pockets, it kind of balances things out a little bit more that way
Right.
with the
Well, way back when, very few people would actually get to see the candidates, give a speech or talk or hear what their policies were, because they didn't get to most people. So they said, all right, this is a good idea. And I think it was. Now everybody knows everything. So that part is a little bit dated as far as that goes. So there you go. We have more patriotic music. Are you prepared?
I'm prepared.
I don't know if you are for this one. We'll have to see.
Patriotic music.
Hey, I just
What?
I just Googled patriotic music and that came up. That sounds like a scary, like
That's like a
midway
horror
through the
film.
movie when the monsters are coming through town and squishing everybody.
That kind of is like what election day is like, so I guess maybe it's appropriate.
Okay,
Okay.
that's a good one.
Election day, should we get all day off today so that we can go vote? That's the question.
How about yes?
I mean, I like yes. Most of us actually agree on that election day should be a federal holiday.
Hmm.
7 out of 10 people think it's a good idea. I mean, I say,
Seems like it.
why not? And
Yeah.
then uh 68% would take it a step further and actually require all companies to give people paid time off to go vote.
There's a counter argument apparently, which is, do we really need the time off now that early voting is a thing? And that's also kind of true.
We might just need the day after election day off for a mental health day.
That's likely this time around. I haven't, no matter what the outcome, I think that's a good thing. So, and then somebody else says, do you think Tuesday is good for election day, or would another day be better? And the top answer was, keep it on Tuesday.
I think so. I think Tuesday is a great day.
Tuesday is always where it's been. We're going to keep it at Tuesday. Thank you very much. Next question, right?
Yeah. What more?
Music.
This is what you spend your time doing, Curt, finding music like this? Or did you get a band together and record it live?
Let me just tell everybody that I was under such a time constraint, thanks to Jen today. She's like, hurry up. I think it'd be a great idea to have some of these music bumpers that were patriotic. Okay, great. I'll find them. And then you have to download it, and then you have to convert it, and then you have to blah, blah, blah. She's like, why can't you do this in 2 minutes?
I know. That's the thing. I'm so impatient. Okay. We have one more election story. Are you planning to attend an election watch party? Curt, are you?
Yes, with a little caveat there. It turns out, I'm not going to say which party, but I was contacted about the fact that they were having this big to-do at a hotel in downtown Seattle, and they wanted to have, some video screens and projectors and sound equipment and blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay.
And okay, so hold on. Are you going to downtown Seattle, or are you going to Bellevue?
I'd rather not say. Yeah, so anyway, basically I'm making a little money off of the night. I gave him a good deal.
I have to ask more questions about this. Am I not allowed to?
You can ask all the questions you want, but basically,
are you getting US dollars from our old company that we used to work with?
I'm going to plead the fifth on that.
Okay. All right. Wow, Curt. Okay. All right. I am not attending a watch party. I'm actually going to be at a softball banquet for my daughter. I don't know why they put it on election day, but they did. So that's where I will be.
Okay.
But in all seriousness, there was a poll out asking people, because there's watch parties for like the Oscars and the Grammys, and of course the Super Bowl is huge. So it begs the question, what about election day? Because it's huge, especially this year. And what did they say about it? 35% said they will watch the election coverage with friends and family members.
And that's good. I mean, as far as having a watch party, I'm attending part of this event, but I will be home early to see what's going on, so
most people say they're going to be watching it alone, perhaps in the dark with a generous glass of wine or adult beverage.
Don't leave out in the fetal position, sucking their thumb. All of the above.
But Democrats are more likely to attend a watch party than Republicans. That's just a little tidbit of information.
Okay.
All right.
Oh yeah, vote. Right.
That's it. That's all we got for election.
Throughout the day. Here's some patriotic music so you can vote to this. All right. It went St. Patrick's Day after a little bit.
Oh my gosh, Curt Cruz. Okay.
This is what happens when you're rushed.
My best friend's dad. I'm going to put that in quotes. My best friend's dad, because that, my friend, is the name of the hot new baby trend for girls. And what does that mean? It means exactly what it says. Who's your best friend? What's his dad's name? There's your girl name. That's what I got for you. So if I had a baby right now, never. That factory's shut down. But if I did, it would be Jessie. And that works for a girl. But that's my best friend's dad's name.
My best friend's dad's name would not work for a girl because, honest to God, his dad's name is Bart.
But that's the thing that they're saying, that grandpa names for girls have been trending for a while now. And Nameberry, who's like this big name, like that's when we say, oh, what are the top girl names? What are the top boy names? It's Nameberry that's doing it. They predicted this happening back in 2022. They said names like Max, Lenny, and Teddy would become popular, and they have. And and so this, my best friend's dad's name is a continuation of that.
I guess I didn't never see Max, Lenny, or Teddy as grandpa names.
Well, like a few examples would be like if your best friend's dad's name is Scott, you can name your girl Scotty or Tommy or
Okay.
Mickey or Billy.
Got it. What
I'm
was my
I'm
grandpa's
just
name?
here to provide little
George.
fun facts. That's all.
You could use George as a girl's name, yeah.
George. Well, I had a well, yeah. I mean, yeah, Georgie.
My mom was Georgette, and they used to call her George, so that one works as well.
Okay. All right.
My
Okay.
best friend's dad is the hot new trend for girl baby names. All right.
All right. Yep. I want to hear about your dishwasher.
Oh, okay. Do we need more patriotic music
No,
or no?
I want just regular now.
Now I got to find regular music. All right.
There we go. This is the happy, upbeat stuff that I like. And so,
That's what we're used to.
okay, what's the deal with your dishwasher?
Well, I just want to know if this is weird or not, because I think that I think that my wife thinks that it is, and that is when I load the dishwasher, which is a lot more now since I'm a house husband, stay-at-home doggy dad for the time being.
Yes.
When you load, and this is specifically for the silverware, you know, the silverware has those little sections that you can put it in, like, you know, it's like maybe like 5 or 6 different partitioned out bins.
Yes.
I put the same silverware, like there's a spoon bin and a fork and a knife.
like
Do you do that?
It makes it easier to unload the dishwasher. I do that sometimes. If I have a lot of silverware at once, I might try to put the spoons and the knives and the forks together. But you
it
don't
always seemed logical to
them,
me.
though.
Because when you go to unload them and put them into the drawer or whatever, the cabinet or whatever, then it's very easy to do. So I was okay, good. So I'm not a complete weirdo for that. I'm just a weirdo for other reasons.
Well, like putting up your multiple trees in your house, because I see your Christmas tree in the background. But what do you have a third tree going up today?
Well, this is just and this is my wife. She loves Christmas. She loves the decorating in particular. And so, yes, there's going to be a third. This is what they call a pencil tree. You've seen those, right? The real narrow ones. That goes in the dining room.
I love it. I love that you are so festive and fun.
Yeah. So we've got the dining room. We've got one in the living room. Now we got one in, I don't know what this is, the office sort of place. Oh, you're raising your hand. Yes,
I have
you
a
right
question.
there.
Are you keeping any pumpkins or any trace of harvest and fall for Thanksgiving, or are you having a Christmas Thanksgiving?
That's a good question. I don't know. She was so excited about putting the Christmas tree up that there's still some pumpkin stuff around, I think, and fallish type of things.
Okay. I wonder if those will stick around or if those are going to be put away.
They could probably overlap a little bit.
Okay.
Don't you think?
Maybe.
All right. Well, you know, there's no hard and fast rules as far as that goes.
Yeah.
I don't think. Not sure.
You know what we didn't talk about, Curt?
What's that?
We didn't talk about why I'm remote today, but I think we've covered it before. So I'm going to be spending more time in Sedro, Woolley, where hot firefighter boyfriend Pat is remodeling a house and then going to build a house for us. And
okay.
So that's why I'm here on my days that I don't have my little Macy girl.
You're working up there, getting houses ready and stuff.
I'm doing some work up here, and I'm helping Pat as well. And so we went to the plumbing store, and he accidentally let the dog out of. There's a resident dog at the plumbing store named Jax.
Mascot.
And Jax is an escape dog, and Pat opened the door, and Jax escaped. So we spent some good time trying to get Jax back.
It wasn't by a busy street, was it?
Well, it's a big parking lot, so he has a little ways to go to a busy street. But
you can still get popped. Okay, good. I'm glad he came back.
If you're gonna have an escape dog at your, as your resident dog, you need to have some gates up.
True.
That's what I say.
Or
okay. Anyway, moving on.
Just not have Pat open the door.
Right.
One thing here, because a lot of people are going to say that today was a bad day. A lot of people say it was a good day. We'll see. But if you think you're having a bad day, keep in mind there was a truck driver yesterday in Massachusetts. He and his truck failed to clear a low situated overpass there. It happened to be on Massachusetts Avenue. I don't think that is even important. But so, if truck doesn't quite make it underneath the overpass, well, a lot of times it's going to just peel back the top of the truck if it's a semi or something like that. In this case, the truck was carrying a bunch of dirty porta potties.
What happened?
Well, they fell off. 2 of them fell off the back of the truck and
it was a crappy situation.
Thank you. You got any more? Man, it must stink. That job must stink. So that's a perspective builder when you're thinking you have a bad day. And the funny thing is that I understand that the guy drove away, right? But then came back. Because what are you going to do when they say, hey, are you the one that had a couple porta potties fall off? Like, no, not me. That wasn't me with my porta potty truck. Must have been some other dude.
Well, yeah, you
So,
got to go back. But maybe he just went, maybe he had to just, he knew he wasn't going to be able to get him because he was too far down the road once he realized. And then he just has to make a circle back to get where he was,
right.
Wow. Okay.
Guess what I have for you now?
What? Oh. To talk about your dating red flags.
Red flags, that's patriotic, I guess.
Did you have any, what was your big red flag when you were dating, Curt?
When I was dating, a red flag. So what you're saying is you're going out with a person and something pops up that you're like, ooh, this is not good. This could be a deal breaker. I would say, I was pretty desperate. So I would say if they didn't have a pulse, that was a big red flag for me. What?
Mine was, and like Rebecca, I agree with Rebecca because she weighed in on this. She's like, men in this case, who don't ask questions. They have zero skills in getting to know you, the getting to know you game. Like if the guy's not asking me any questions about me, like, and because I like asking questions because that's how you get to know someone, right?
Right.
No.
And if you want to give a serious answer, I always thought if people, and this is probably not fair, but if they had a strained relationship with their siblings or with their parents or whatever, I always thought that was, unfortunately, my first marriage was an absolute chaotic mess due to family involvement with the in-laws and and so I suppose
would affect your future dating.
Yeah, and so I think I was like, oh, never again, Okay, so your dad went to jail for a little while. But that's not fair. I understand that, but that would be.
I like these answers that people gave.
Yeah.
A lot.
Carrie says, my dating red flags. I'm very happily married, but I'd imagine it'd be just like meeting new people or friends. They have to have a sense of humor and make me laugh to really connect. Yes. Good one, Carrie. Yeah.
Sel, I think that's how you pronounce it. Sel said, being rude to people, providing you with service or not tipping. Agreed.
Huge.
If someone's
that's
rude
huge.
to the wait staff if you're out for dinner or something, no thank you.
Well, I think I told you that the first date I went in with my with my wife Dana, she sent back a bottle of wine. I was like, wait a minute. She's like, this wine is turned. I'm not going to drink this wine. Like, okay, all right. But it was actually bad. So that's what you're supposed to do.
All right. Bill said, can my mom come on the first date? That's his big red flag. Yes.
Well, if you're 16 or whatever, but if you're 30, that'd be a weird thing to ask. Rebecca, you said that men who don't ask questions is a good one. Mary has a few. I really don't like it when a man only talks about himself and isn't curious about me, even the very first few minutes of a date, the little things. Yeah.
Yeah. What you notice at the beginning is what will continue 100%. Yeah.
That's right.
Lane is, I don't like sushi. The meaning, if someone says they don't like sushi, that's his red flag.
Okay. What about Andrea, men who are just looking to get a home run on the first date? Ah. But then she put a little winking emoji, like, ah?
What does she mean by that? MC said no red flag. So I was like, what does that mean? I think that his big red flag is that there's no red flags.
Yeah, if there aren't any red flags, he's like, wait a minute. There should be at least one. And that doesn't mean, by the way, these red flags don't mean you're not going to date that person necessarily, right? It's just things that you kind of keep your eye on.
Okay. Debbie said hygiene. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And Jackie in all parts, by the way, the mouth, the appearance, the hair.
Total hygiene, yeah. Jackie says, this sounds like a joke. She's serious. My biggest red flag is if they aren't completely single. I'm not completely single, but mostly half single. That would be a bad thing. Oh, she also doesn't like bad grammar.
I mean, yeah, she's a grammar stickler. I love it. Ina said, doesn't act like a gentleman. Randy said, for me, the fact that they are trying to date a married man is a big red flag. Oh my God.
That's, like what Jackie said. So yeah, well, Randy is 100% not single. That's pretty funny. Sheetal said, I'm a magnet for narcissists. So love bombing and gaslighting. Do you know what love bombing is?
I don't know what love bombing is.
I'm
going to look it up. You keep going.
All right. Laurel says a red flag for me, if I were looking to date again, would be if he was not on the same spiritual journey. Yeah, that can be a big one there.
Yeah.
Melissa, if there is a tan line from a ring on their finger. Well,
Oh
I
my
guess
God. I thought that was a good one.
that's hilarious. A ring tan line means Melissa's like, nope, I'm out. Jenny, she says the dating red flag, question mark. First off, thank God I found someone normal, but I hate that I would go out with someone and then they would ghost me. And then weeks later, message you like nothing happened. That's just, yeah, that's just bizarre. But it happened to her several times. She says, I don't get it. Sorry, Jenny. Heather, constantly talking about their ex. That's not a good thing. I want to hear what it is. I want to hear what this love bombing is.
Love bombing is a type of emotional manipulation that can be a sign of an unhealthy, toxic, or abusive relationship. It's when they give excessive attention, like many compliments, affection, or attention. They also want to spend all your time together and communicate with you constantly. They want to move the relationship along quickly. They shower you with gifts. It's just like they have controlling behavior. So it's just like, that's what it is to me. Like,
Okay.
they just take everything and just like exaggerate it. And that feels
Overdo
gross
it.
at first,
Yeah.
like at the get-go. Yeah.
Which some people would say, oh man, I love this person. They're doing so much for me. But yeah, but if it's a means of, what do you say, control and manipulation, then that's no good. Miriam says, as far as her red flags, if you're at a restaurant or someplace where someone's serving you and they're rude to them.
Yep. We've covered that. Yep. And then what Lily say?
What's that?
Lily said her husband, Bayad, I'm married. If I'm dating, that's a red flag.
That would be.
And then Lily said when she was dating, aside from the norm, a major red flag was someone who constantly bad mouths people or always blames others, especially exes, and never owns up to anything. That's a good one.
That's a very good one.
Yeah.
Those are all good ones. Thank you for participating. Those are still up if you want to let us know what your red flags are. And, you know, if you're maybe you're currently dating, or if you obviously we've dated in the past, we'd love to hear all about that on any of the platforms there. Okay.
This is a nice one. We're balancing out these red flags. So maybe you've seen some red flags, but how do you know if you've found your soulmate? If you
These are good back-to-back stories. Yes, I agree.
If you haven't,
if
you haven't found your soulmate yet, these relationship experts weighed in on, these are the top signs that are, if you found the one, like this is the one, if these things happen.
You found your soulmate, they say, if there's a near instant feeling of closeness, maybe not love at first sight, but, you know, feeling comfortable around them right away, that's a good sign.
Yep. If you care about their opinion, and you care about, and they care about yours. You genuinely want to hear their take on things, even if you don't always agree. I love that.
Oh, yeah. This one was tough for me, because it's like you're okay doing things without each other, because I wasn't love bombing, but it's like once, you know, when I met Dana, it's like, oh, I want to do everything with you, but you have to, you know, leave some space for their own things to do. So that's also, if you're okay doing things without each other, that's probably a good sign they could be your soulmate.
You can be vulnerable with them. You can feel like you can open up and let your guard down, and they're never going to use it against you.
You're okay with being bored together. Actually, I think that's a big one. If you can sit there and read a book, and the other person's, I don't know, listening to music or working on their computer, and you could do that for hours at a time, I think that's a good sign.
You fight fair. Even the best relationships have conflict. The key is how you fight. Are you blaming each other and trying to win every argument, or are you fighting? Sorry, I had a little thing come up. Or are you fighting but still on the same team? That's the thing. You got to choose love.
Fighting fair. Of course, this is they're affectionate, including physical touch or a random compliment out of nowhere. That's good. And finally, you describe your relationship as easy. You know, people say, although if I said that, I would think I'd be jinxing it. Like, you know, I'm like, man, it's so easy. I spend time with her, and it's so easy. I'd be like, wait a minute.
No, but you know what? That's how Pat and I described, even at first, our relationship. It just, everything came very easy.
Right.
And I mean, I go down this list. I'm like, I found my soulmate.
Yeah. And I feel that way about Dana too. But then, of course, I get suspect. Like, wait a minute, it shouldn't be this easy.
And I want people I hope that everybody finds this, right? So if you, I mean, I know that there's, Curt, you and I have many, many friends who are single, and unfortunately we can't seem to match them up.
Trying.
Right. But
trying.
I wish this for you. Like, it's hard to see it when you have that, you know, when you have that and your friends are wanting it and they don't have it, but be patient. It will come. The universe will work your way.
The universe will work your way. I like that. That's a good way to put it.
Okay,
All right.
I wanted to talk about this because Curt was like, what's this all about?
Yes.
Okay, there's a viral video on social, obviously. There's this account called Glorious Broads that and then there's a story on this this account that features an older woman giving advice about life, and she says it's to learn how to say no. So she said, I'm 85, I still feel like I'm 16, I still hate my hair, I still think about boys, but one thing that's changed is that she's learned how to say no. She's like, when you know things aren't right for you, it's okay to say no to it. Don't be a people pleaser. And she gave this example of this camping trip that she had gone on. She's like, I knew I didn't like to camp, but I wanted to be part of the group, and I wanted to please them. And so she went on the camping trip. She's like, I woke up in the middle of the night because I had to pee. I couldn't find where the bathroom was. So I ended up peeing in the woods and used a leaf to wipe. And sure enough, it was poison ivy. She's like, and then she ended it with like, that's the universe telling me, you know what? You should have said no to this. And you know it. You know you should have said no, but I got to remind you now.
All right. Yes. And I'd have to say I'd agree. And it's hard not to, if you are a person who has a people pleaser, I guess, you know, you tend to go, yeah, exactly. Tendencies. It's hard not to, you know, I mean, but that also leads to something else that I've learned and been told. It's one of the things, if you're a people pleaser and you do something for somebody, you have to do it because you enjoy doing that, not to expect like them to be, oh my God, thank you so much. You're so awesome. Because then if you don't get that response, you're like, hey, wait a minute, man.
Right.
So that can be a double-edged sword. Now, before we go on to the next thing here, I just want to, well, let's go ahead and do that and let people know that that's what we want to know for tomorrow. Something that you said yes to, whether you're a people pleaser or not, but you said yes to, okay, yes, I'll do it. But life ended up teaching you a lesson about how you should have just said no.
Yeah, like, was there a moment for you where it's like, I know I should say no to this. You ended up saying yes, and something went awry. We want to know that quick little
For
story.
me, it was agreeing because my friends sort of forced me to go see Purple Rain. And I was like, this is the worst movie I've ever seen.
Okay, that's okay, good.
There's no lesson in there. Nothing against Prince, but that was not great. Anyway,
That
there's
was
that.
telling
So,
you it
yeah.
wasn't going to be a good movie, but you still went anyway. That was like a little thing.
Something you said yes to be a people pleaser, but life ended up teaching you a lesson about how you should just have said no. Now, vote.
Yeah.
Don't forget to vote. It's not too late. And here we have an explanation. This is a Lyft driver who's 90. Why voting is important. Here we go.
I was 30 years old before I could vote. I was born in 1935. Civil rights movement was high when I was about 30, 35 years old. I had seen so many young men and women die because of a right to vote. And I said, I gotta vote. The people have to realize the price that was paid for them to vote. I've been driving Lyft for 9 years. Even when I drive locals, I ask them, have they registered to vote? A lot of them say, my vote doesn't count. Oh, yes, it does. One vote can change a conversation. One vote can change a whole society.
Go.
I love that so much.
Very well put. So please don't forget to vote today. It's not too late. And of course, you know, 8 o'clock tonight, I think is the deadline.
For around
is that correct?
Here. Yeah, you have to get the ballot boxes are going to close by then. Yeah, I mean, the guy said your voice matters. It matters. So please cast your vote. Have an awesome day. And here I'm going to say my little closing, Curt. I don't know if you have the closing music, but I
was waiting for you to do
that. Make good choices, find joy, and spread kindness, but especially today when there's so much division happening, that at the end of the day, we're still all human. We're still trying to get through life, and we're in this together. So give some grace and allow people to have their own opinions, but still love. Bye, everybody.
Thanks for listening. Bye.